Hey guys, this is Wexdarn here, and welcome to my new Let's Play Pokemon Pinball. I'm just putting this here as a quick preface for the rest of the video. This is my first time doing a post-commentary Let's Play all the way through. I know I did it for one episode for Beautiful Joe, but yeah, I'd just like to say this is my first post-commentary Let's Play, so if I get timing wrong on anything, I hope you won't be too critical about it, but that's understandable if you are, so yeah, let's just get straight into this. So here we are playing Pokemon Pinball for the Game Boy Color. The way this is going to work is I'm going to be playing one game on the red board, one game on the blue board, so I can like show off everything that's different about the two boards. It's kind of a difficult game to actually do a live commentary on, to be honest, because there's a lot of times where stuff just doesn't happen. So I've gone through cutting stuff out, and yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy it. So the main of Pokemon Pinball, like in the main Pokemon games, is to actually capture Pokemon. The way you do that is to actually get into the catch mode of the game. And to get into catch mode, you have to go into a certain Pokemon on the screen's mouth, depending on which board it's on. On this board, it's a Bellsprout's mouth, which is at an angle that's actually kind of difficult to flick the Pokeball into, because as you can see, there's the Bellsprout that we just flung past ourselves again. It's not just a matter of getting into its mouth though, because you'll see that there's 3 red arrows, like just to the right of where we're trying to aim in to get into Bellsprout's mouth. They all start out being blank, and every time you pass by them and do a loop around the top, you'll light one up. If you light up at least 2, then when you enter Bellsprout's mouth, Bellsprout will start off the catching mode. And I'm pretty sure I do it pretty close here, and there we go, straight into Bellsprout's mouth. Once capture mode has begun, you'll see the silhouette of a Pokemon, which is kind of cool. It kind of harkens back to Who's That Pokemon in the anime, so that's kind of cool to see. After doing that, you have to hit these 3 bumper Pokemon which appear, which are Voltorb on the red table. Hit the 3 Voltorb a total of 6 times, and the Pokemon itself will appear, which you then have to hit 4 times in order to be able to capture it. So, yeah, that's pretty simple. There's a few other mechanics on the board, such as there are these 4 lights just above where the flippers are that get lit up to say Cave. At the moment I have 3 lights lit up, which say C, A and V. Every time your ball passes past that little purple point just below them, it lights up that thing if it isn't lit up already. It doesn't unlight it if you pass through it again though, so you don't have to worry about that too much. If you light all 4 of them up, then you get a slot machine to appear, but if you light them all up and it's in catching mode, then the slot machine won't appear, and we've caught ourselves a Rattata. So that's pretty cool. It only took us 51 seconds according to the time, because you get 2 minutes to capture Pokemon. If you don't catch them in those 2 minutes, then you just miss out on the Pokemon, nothing else happens to you. Right, you start out with 3 balls. If you like lose them by dropping them through the centre of the arena, like that, then you die. Sometimes you can tilt the arena with B selecting down and it can save it. And this is just showing the game over screen, which is going to the high score table. And the default high scores are for Nintendo, Creatures Inc., Game Freak, HAL Laboratory and Jupiter, which are the 5 companies that had a hand in making this game. Everybody knows what Nintendo did. Creatures Inc. actually worked on games like Earthbound. Game Freak, as well as Pokemon, have done a series called Pulseman. HAL Laboratory is famous for Kirby and Super Smash Bros. And Jupiter did a game for the DS called Spectros, which is actually something I really enjoyed. Kind of cool little fossil JRPG thing. And this is the slot machine I mentioned earlier with the whole cave light up things. You can get things like bonus multipliers, extra lives, starting capture and evolution mode from there, as well as upgrading your Pokeball. And yeah, we've sort of lost the ball again there. I wanted to include the deaths just to show that sometimes you can flick the ball and there is no actual way to save it without tilting the arena. This right here is a map movement. The way to activate map movement is you have to hit the Pokemon that's on either side of the arena 3 times, and then go around in a circle in the direction that it's pointing. So if you hit all the left ones, you have to go do a clockwise loop of the arena, hit all the ones on the right, you have to do an anti-clockwise loop of the arena. And it essentially allows you to move your location to somewhere else, depending on where your location is, which gets decided at the start via roulette. You actually can capture different Pokemon there, and I'll have like a table at the end of this showing what Pokemon can be caught where and what's exclusive to red and blue versions. So yeah, there's a lot of mechanics actually going on here. And in fact, this next clip that I've got coming up here is how I sort of saved myself twice when I shouldn't have been able to. So I just managed to flick myself around to the Pikachus, which can save your ball. They've got a certain mechanic, and I managed to flip myself around again and save myself. But as you'll see here, well, not quite here, I try doing the same sort of mechanic and I die. The way the Pikachu save works is that just above Bellsprout's head there's a lightning bolt thing and a spinner next to Bellsprout's head. If you spin that thing enough, it'll light up lightning bolt, and if the lightning bolt's charged, Pikachu will save you. That's basically how that works. Here we've gone into evolution mode, similar to how you have to light up 3 arrows to get into Bellsprout's mouth. There's 3 arrows on the left side, which means you have to do a loop in the other direction, and if you light all 3 of them up, the Ditto at the top of the screen moves, you get into a hole behind it, and you can evolve whatever Pokemon you have on your team. In this case, we're evolving Voltorb, and I let my ball fall through there because the way this works is you have to hit one of the areas that has an arrow pointing to it, and then a little EX logo for experience appears. If you have a saver activated, which automatically saves your ball and flings it off again, and the experience is along the top in the loop, you can actually save yourself some hassle by letting your Pokeball drop through, and as it's being returned thanks to saver, it'll actually pick up the experience, which is nice. Collect 3 experience and you can evolve it like that. So it's just a nice little tactic. It's kind of cheap, but it works. As you can see on the bottom of the slot machine, you've got these 3 Pokeballs light up. You get 1 of those Pokeballs for capturing Pokemon and 2 for evolving them. If all 3 get lit up, you get to go to a bonus stage. There's 2 exclusive to each board, and 3 on each board altogether. If you complete the 3rd one, it just loops around. But this is the first bonus game, which is a Diglett bonus game. It's arguably the hardest one in the game, in fact, simply because if you fall through this, you will die, and in all the other ones you respawn, and it has a time limit instead. But the idea is very simple. You just have to hit all the Digletts on screen, and then Dugtrio appears at the top, and yeah, you just have to hit Dugtrio 3 times and you win. So I think it's actually the fastest completion of the Diglett stage, which is why I included it. But yeah, we've got another map movement going on here, which is why I decided to include it, because it's straight after and it's something interesting. One of the last mechanics I don't think I've really talked about on this board, because I've talked about evolution, capture and the slot machine, is there's a little Staryu next to the Voltorb. If you hit the button Staryu standing on, it'll either turn on or off the barriers that are just above Voltorb. If the barriers are turned off, then you can't go higher up than if the barriers are turned on, you can't go higher than the Voltorb, you're just sort of trapped in the arena there. If they're turned off, then you've got these little slot gaps that you can fall through, and if you light up the lights on all 3 of those slot gaps, then your Pokeball upgrades to a Great Ball upgrades to Ultra, Ultra to Master, and that's basically a multiplier on your score for what you're collecting. Pokeballs times 1, Great Balls times 2, etc. By the way, here I wanted to show off what happens if you try evolving a fully evolved Pokemon, such as Farfetch'd. Well, rather fully evolved Pokemon that cannot evolve, but basically what happens is the Pokemon has a little star in the menu screen for picking it up. But, well, in the menu screen for choosing who you want to evolve, it has a little star next to the Pokemon, and you can see there's a lot more arrows on the screen than there was for when we evolved Voltorb. It's sort of to make it more difficult, because only 3 of those little arrows will actually make an experience appear. If you hit any of the other arrows, then it'll just say the Pokemon is tired and you have to wait a while before it'll spawn again, and considering you have a 2-minute time limit of evolving your Pokemon, that can kind of cause you a lot of trouble. So yeah, if you try putting fully evolved Pokemon through, you won't evolve it, but you will get a pretty nice point bonus on it. So if you're going for the high score, you're going to want to try evolving the not fully evolved Pokemon. There's actually a hierarchy of how many arrows appear, depending on what Pokemon you choose to evolve. So like, a Pokemon that can evolve twice and is currently in its lowest stage will make the least arrows appear. Pokemon that can only evolve once will have slightly more arrows appear, and it just goes up in rank. So yeah, Pokemon in the 2-stage line that only evolve once, Pokemon in the 2-stage line, their most basic form will always be the easiest to evolve. Now, anyway, another way to get into the bonus rounds, like I've already mentioned, the free Pokeball lights up gets you into the free Pokeballs below the slot machine lights up gets you into a bonus round. Another way of getting into it is if you've been playing for long enough, then the slot machine can actually give you access to it. Sorry about that, that was my chair moving, but the slot machine can actually give you access to it. Like, I get lucky enough here to actually get into the Ghastly special stage, even though I'm missing 2 Pokemon to get into it, or missing an evolution to get into it. But yeah, this is the second bonus stage that's exclusive to the red board. The main aim of this is that you have to hit all the Pokemon on the screen in a certain amount of times within the time limit. At the start, it's just Ghastly's on the screen. It's actually kind of creepy because you're in a little graveyard area, so it's a pretty cool stage. I like the music for it, but I would have preferred if they used a mix of Lavender Town's theme, just sort of reference the games a little, because they do remix a lot of music for this game. So the main theme for the red board is actually the cycling theme, if I remember rightly. But there's a lot of remixes going on in this game, so using Lavender Town here would have been a really nice touch, because that's actually quite a creepy theme. But anyway, after we beat enough Ghastly, we have Haunters appear on screen, and I actually really like Haunters' design in the Gen 1 sprites, so they actually look genuinely creepy. And I think that's what they tried to go for here. And after defeating enough Haunters after the Ghastly, you get a Gengar appear, and it's actually kind of it's kind of intimidating in a way. Like, the screen sort of shakes as he walks, even though he's meant to be a ghost. But if he reaches the bottom, then you lose, and if you don't hit him enough times before the time limit goes out, then you lose as well. So there's a lot going on here, but I managed to clear the bonus stage, and yeah, that's Gengar taken out quite successfully there. He just sort of backs away to the top and fades out. So yeah, I think that's everything that's exclusive to the red board I wanted to show off. I'm obviously not doing a 100% run on this, because you'd have to watch me going to Bellsprout's mouth so many times and capture so many Pokemon, and it's just that there's just no way I'd have the patience for all of this. Anyway, end of ball, so I'm showing off all the bonuses you get: Pokemon Caught, Pokemon Evolved, the Bellsprout bonuses, the Doug Trio bonuses, the slot machines, the amount of time you make the Splinter, whatever multiplier you've got. That goal gets added to your score at the end, and you can go into the Hall of Fame with this score. Well, it's a high score table, but I like to call it Hall of Fame just to tie it into the Pokemon side of things anyway. But here we go. As you can see, that's one of my other attempts at the bottom of the screen there, but yeah, we managed to beat Nintendo at Pokemon Pinball, so that's pretty great. See, what more is there to say about the red board? I don't like it as much as the blue one. The blue board's much easier to work with, in my opinion. And as you can see, that's where we're going to go next. But I really like the theme for the high score table when we actually get into it, because it is kind of a nice celebratory theme. So yeah, I like this game, but I don't think it's aged all that well. I think some of the mechanics feel pretty wonky, but it's fun still. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time.